Now, a lot of you might think that I'm not, and you all you see is like guys, um, what's it called? Um, like book reviews and interviews like that, right? No, I'm inspired by other female entrepreneurs. There are people who inspire me. Like uh, they do things and you wonder, wow, that's amazing. Who am I inspired by? Well, I remember I first saw this book. I wanted to buy it, but then I hesitate to buy it, right? And until I saw a book review to the person, you guys probably saw the video of three keys ideas, to vlogging like a boss. She did a book review of this amazing lady, and I talk about her in the whole, talking about the truth thing, right? And I love it for the fact that she inspired me. Okay, like she have degrees, and people. She's working with Mark Zuckerberg, CEO and co-founder of Facebook, and I was like that. And what she's saying in this book, it like inspired me. Like holy crap! And I watched her. There's one not one time, but there are a couple of times I consumed her video content, and she was talking, and she inspired me, because she was having a tough time, and and it inspired me because she her her significant others passed away, and she was having a tough time, but uh all those female entrepreneur, like whether you're a female entrepreneur, I believe that you have success in there. Like you can do it. Like this woman do it, you can do it. Like, and there's another lady who I'm inspired by, Senny Gallagher, who worked with Bob Proctor. um who else? Arianna Huffington, the she created Huffington Post, and these ladies inspire me. Like these ladies, entrepreneur, inspire me to a whole new realm of doing things. Like they make things like like in the world of many, guys entrepreneurs. These females are succeeding in their own way, and I'm glad they're succeeding in their own way. Right? We need them in our life, man. All right, today I'll be doing a chapter of Seek and to Speak Your Truth. I need this in my life because sometimes I don't want to hurt other people feeling, and I don't want to. And but it's because I believe that as the older you get, the more understanding of people why they have their point of view, and they strongly held believe that because they let I wouldn't say they let, but they have a confirmation bias, which people don't even know about, and they let that dictate how they see the world instead of being flexible of seeing the world in multiple point of views, right? People can't see many point of views in really because think about it, it's hard to swallow uh, when you hear something that you're so familiar with and something collide with that idea of yours and you don't like it. Why? Because we tend to believe in things that are based upon our childhood, our upbringing, and the thing that we hear and what are passed down to us. So as adult, they become a chain, a habit, if you will, and they start to lock in. And and sometimes these things that are locked in hurt you more than help you. The thing that most people believe uh, is I believe in people believe in school or society stuff like that, and sometimes we afraid to speak up. If we do, you get uh, you piss them off or something happen. No, I believe that you should be able to disagree with people, right? And I was like, you know, I was thinking like I remember I was so honest with my ex. well, not I'm talking about with um, I remember what happened was when what happened. How did the breakup? I was honest. I told her I talked to her friend, right, on the phone to get to her, but she thought I was cheating, so she said I was accused of being cheated on, right? And I was trying to get to her, but instead we talking. But her friend, she have uh, already a boyfriend. Now they're married, and that was being honest. But honest, at the time I was like, "Whoa!" I was being honest. Why you do this? But that's the moral of the story, right? But yeah, like for instance, I disagree with a lot of spiritual teaching. Sometimes, like I'm spiritual, but I disagree with the old thinking that we have to think this certain way. Like the answer within. The answer is within when you want something. When you want something happen, the subconscious will inspire you to do that. But the answer isn't within when you're on trying to understand how to play the social media game like Instagram or YouTube, or how to uh, do content to inspire people. There's no there's no answer. Like if you look within, you can't. Now most people would disagree with me, but they wouldn't understand that you know when you try to understand how to do other things, that is the answer is that's what I disagree with. I hear all type of things that people want me to believe in, but it is not. Like if you want something, like you have to believe that. Yes, if you want something, you must believe it. But sometime in getting there, you have to be able to grow more in awareness and belief. So today I will be reading you Speak and Seek and Speak Your Truth. This kind of honesty is common from children and virtue unheard of from adults. As kids grow up, we teach them to be polite. Watch what they say, not hurt others' feelings. This is not a bad thing. As a former pregnant whale, I I'm glad that most people keep some observation to themselves. As we learn to speak appropriately, we lose something in authenticity. Authentic communication is not always easy, but it's the basic for success relationship at home and real effectiveness at work. Yet people constantly back away from honesty to protect themselves and others. This relentlessly causes perpetual all countless problem. Unfortunately, issues that never get addressed, resentment that builds on fit managers who get uh, promoted rather than fired, and on and on. Often these situations don't improve because no one tells anyone what is really happening. We're rarely brave enough to tell the truth. Being honest in the workplace is especially difficult. All organizations have some form of hierarchy, which means that someone's performance is assessed by someone else's perception. This makes people even less likely to tell the truth. Every organization faces challenge, no matter how flat it tries to be. At Facebook, we work hard to be non-hierarchical. Everyone sit at an open desk in this big open space. No office, no cubes, or any participation for any of us. We hold a company-wide Q&A every Friday where everyone can ask a question and make a comment. When people disagree with the decision, they post to comment-wide Facebook group. Still, I would be an idiot or not telling myself the truth if I thought that my coworker always felt free to criticize me, Mark, or even their peers. When psychologists studied power dynamics, they found that people in lower power positions are more hesitant to share their views and often hedge their statement when they do. It helps explain why, for many women, speaking honestly in a professional environment carries an additional set of fears. Fears of not being considered a team player, fear of seeing negative or nagging, fear that constructive criticism will come across as just plain of old criticism, fear that by speaking up we will call attention to ourselves, which might open up to attack. A fear brought us to by the same voice in the back of our heads that urged us not to sit at the table. Speaking truthfully without hurting feelings come naturally to some. It's an acquired skill for others. I definitely needed help in this area. Fortunately, I found it. I learned from Fred that effective communication starts with the understanding that there's my point of view my truth and someone else's point of view. That's his truth. Rarely there's one absolute truth. So people who believe that they speak the truth are very silently silencing others. When we recognize that we can see things only from our perspective, we can share our views in non-threatening ways. Statements of opinions are always more constructive in the first person I form. Paradigm statement: You're never taking my session seriously, and I feel frustrated that you have not responded to my last 4 emails, which leads me to believe that my suggestions are not that important to you. Is that so? The former can elicit a quick in defense. That's not true. The latter is much harder to deny. One triggers a disagreement, the other sparks a discussion. I wish I could always maintain this perspective in all my communication. I don't, but I continue to try. Office space ring true for a reason. People fear insulting others, especially the boss, so they hedge. Rather than stating, I disagree with our expansion strategy, they say, well, I think there are many good reasons why we're opening in this new line of business. And I feel confident that management team has done a thorough RI analysis. I'm not sure we have completely thought through all the downstream effects of taking this step forward at this time. With all these caveats, it's hard to decipher what the speaker actually thinks. When communicating hard truth, less is often more. A few years ago, Mark Zuckerberg decided to learn Chinese. To practice, he spent time with a group of Facebook employees who were native speakers. One might think that Mark's limited language skill would have kept these comments from being so little useful. Instead, they gave him greater insight into what was going on in that company. For example, one of the women was trying to tell Mark something about her manager. Mark didn't understand, so he said, simpler, please. And he spoke again, but he didn't understand. So he had to ask her to simplify further. This happened a few more times. Eventually, she got frustrated and blurted out, my manager is bad! She was still speaking Chinese, but simpler enough that Mark understood. If more people were this clear, the performance of many organizations would improve dramatically. Even it also relationship, if they would be able to communicate what they want or how they want for the others to do for them, they need to speak up. I think that's a lot of problem with relationship. Uh, we keep it to ourselves so we don't tell the truth. We might offend other or hurting others, not bashing on them, but at least tell what our wants and needs are, and not be able to belittle others, right? But to tell other people what they want to hear, because that's so often that's why most relationships don't work out. That's why my relationship with my ex didn't work out because we didn't communicate effectively. That's what happened. The ability to listen is important as the ability to speak. From the time my sibling and I were very young, whenever we had arguments, our mother taught us, or more like to force us to mirror each other, which means restating the other person's point of view before responding to it. As painful as this was at the time, reflecting one point of view, clarified disagreement becomes a starting point for some resolution. We all want to be heard, and when we focus on showing others that we're listening, we're actually become better listeners. I now do this with my children, and while they probably dislike the process as much as I did when I was their age, I love hearing my son explain to my daughter, I'm sorry you upset me because you lost a monopoly, but I'm older than you, so I should win. Not bad for a 7-year-old. Although Fred would caution my son to take out the butt and everything after the census, tend to deny the preceding statement. I imagine someone say, I really like you, but being aware of a problem is the first step to correcting it. It's nearly impossible to know how our actions are perceived by others. We can try to guess what they're thinking, but asking directly is far more effective. With real knowledge, we can adjust our action and avoid getting tripped up. Still, people rarely seek enough input. I love it. Anybody who are a female entrepreneur, I highly recommend her book. Like this book, really, like she amazed me, and like I wish there's more amazing female entrepreneurs. There is, but they're more. They should be like more of them in this world, and they should inspire us to do great. No, that's why I like Arianna Huffington book Thrive, because they help me to understand that most entrepreneur want to like do and not recharge. I do say go take action, But also, you need time for yourself too. Like, you need to recharge, man. Like, I don't want to be burnt out because I've been burned out by many times. Like, I remember back then when I was doing martial arts, or I was in kung fu class, and I wanted the master didn't, because I wasn't effectively communicating with him. So people have all type of thing consumed. But at the time, I didn't effectively communicate with him. Like, I can't show, because what happened was I got so what happened was I got I did like a was it kung what was it? If I do the work in kung fu, like in the old movies, you do the work in kung fu and then you get lesson, right? So I did cleaning, all that, but I had school, so I have to, it was really hard for me. So what happened is, I came home late and I got burnt out. Plus I got stressed and stuff like that, and I couldn't do it. And I was like, ugh. And then and then after that, I went to boarding school. So I left there. I told them I went to boarding school, so I left. So yeah, so I didn't effectively communicate with them. I didn't know how. So I like this book. You should get it. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.